Alright, the last video is going to show you two more examples of what an inference is. Now I refer to source 2 here. Alright, it says, in the early 15th century, Singapore was a Thai vassal state. So we are under the Thais and we were a vassal state. That means one of the states belonging to the Kingdom of Thai. Alright, and soon after that, we changed ownership, right? We were owned under the Malay Admiral Iskandar, who took over authority and control over Singapore. Okay, so we went from a Thai vassal state to becoming under Malacca and this Admiral Iskandar. Okay, after this, there was another invasion by the Portuguese who captured Malacca in 1511, and as such, Iskandar fled Singapore. No, he fled to Singapore. Okay, he was in Malacca, and then he fled to Singapore, and all his followers followed him, right? And they established a new capital at Johor Lama, keeping a port office in Singapore. All right. However, the Portuguese were not very happy with this, and so they later on went to destroy his kingdom in Johor Lama, which includes Singapore as well. So this is a story that they presented to you, and they're asking you the question, what can you infer about why Singapore declined as a trading port? So now, here, the question word is infer, and the outcome they want you to find out is the reason that Singapore declined as a trading port. So ATQ follow exactly these two phrases here. So Singapore declined as a trading port. Then you write your reason. In this case, because you can clearly see that there was a change in leadership and government 3 times in Singapore. Alright, so what can you tell from this? Why is there a change in government 3 times? Why did they go on to destroy the Johor Lama? How did this lead to Singapore's decline? Right? Then you must think like this. The fact that the evidence presents that the government changed 3 times implies that probably there is a lot of fighting and instability. So this is my educated guess. Alright? How do I know that there's a lot of fighting? How did I come to this conclusion here? Okay, again, this is in my own words. So IYOW stands for in your own words. That means you cannot use any words that you see inside the source here, because like I say, an inference is making an educated guess, a guess based on the evidence, and a guess is not made by copying or lifting. So you cannot lift or copy any of the words that you see in this source here. You must make a guess. And my guess is that Singapore declined as a trading port due to fighting and instability. How do I know? How did I know that this was the cause of Singapore's decline? Well, then I list down. I say I know this because the source states. Then I quote and list down 2 things. Firstly, it says Malacca under Admiral Iskandar took control of Singapore. This is the first change of leadership. And then shortly after, the Portuguese went to destroy Johor Lama. So this is the second change of leadership. Alright, and they went to destroy. So the fact that they went to destroy clearly would imply that there is fighting and instability. Okay, so this is not the end yet, because the last part is how do you draw the link to your final outcome listed here, which is Singapore's decline as a trading port. How did fighting and instability lead to Singapore's decline as a trading port? Now let's draw a little diagram one more time. Okay, your final conclusion, your inference is decline of Singapore as a trading port. And then you tell me the reason, which is your inference, is due to fighting. And then in your evidence, you can clearly see that there was a change in leadership. There was a change in leadership from Malacca to the Portuguese. And what did the Portuguese do? They actually destroyed Johor Lama. They destroyed Johor Lama. So this is my evidence, right? Change in leadership from Malacca to the Portuguese, in which the Portuguese went over to destroy Johor Lama. So how am I going to draw the link here? Okay, how does this change in leadership and the fact that the Portuguese destroyed Johor Lama imply that Singapore declined as a trading port? Alright, this clearly implies the fighting. But how does this fighting and instability imply that Singapore would decline as a trading port? So draw the links, make your own links. It implies that Singapore would decline because when there is fighting and instability, right? When there is fighting and instability, naturally there will be a lack of peace, right? Lack of safety, lack of peace and lack of safety. And you, because the word here is trading, right? So you as a trader, if a place has a lack of peace and a lack of safety, will you want to trade there? No, you won't, right? So naturally, this will make it less attractive. Singapore will become less attractive because why? Because if you trade in a place that lacks peace and lacks safety, right, you will definitely lose profits, right? Your profits may get stolen or you may even die because the place is not safe, right? So the fact that you lose profits and you may be stolen or you may even die makes Singapore a less attractive place to trade for traders to come to. And if traders do not come to Singapore, then naturally this will explain the point that Singapore will decline as a trading port. Okay? So bear in mind, all these things here, right, they are my own words. IYOW in your own words. I repeat one more time. Your point is, Singapore declined as a trading port due to fighting and instability. How do I know this? Because the evidence clearly states that there was a change in leadership 2 times, in which Singapore was eventually destroyed by the Portuguese when they destroyed Johor Lama. How does this imply that Singapore will decline due to fighting and instability? Well, if you see all these things, it clearly shows that the place has a lack of peace, lack of safety, is not attractive because traders will lose their profits, their goods might be stolen, traders might eventually die even. So the fact that all these things will happen resulted in the traders not wanting to come to Singapore. And because traders don't come to Singapore, that is when you have your decline of Singapore as a trading port due to fighting and instability. So when you write the answer down, it looks something like this. Okay? Answer the question, Singapore declined as a trading port. Main inference, fighting and instability. Where did I get this from? I got this from my evidence, which clearly states that Iskandar took over and the Portuguese later went on to destroy the Johor Lama, implying that there's a lot of fighting, a lot of instability. But how will this, the question again is how? How will all this lead to Singapore's decline as a trading port? Because when you have all this fighting, it will no longer be safe to trade in Singapore. You may be attacked, your goods may be stolen. As such, traders will not want to trade in Singapore for fear of risking their lives or their goods, right, or even their goods. So this makes Singapore an unattractive place, and due to this, Singapore will naturally decline as a trading port. Alright, so this is what you need to produce for me when you do your inference. Clear explanation in your own words. Okay? One more example in the next video.